like where all my other vital organs were. Like it was just everywhere. And I remember my doctors had said, like, why you didn't come in any sooner? Like what was going on? And we honestly thought that it was just like a stomach flu. Welcome back again. Niecy's back. Tell a friend. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna keep saying in each video, that song is going to become a part of my intro. I'm gonna have my own little mini tune to that. Watch. See what I tell you. Speaking that out there right now. But anyways, welcome back to my channel, y'all. Y'all miss me? Y'all shouldn't have missed me. I probably just recently posted a video, but that's okay. I hope you guys miss me because I miss you too. I miss making new content and talking about new stuff for you guys. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about my testimony. So I'm going to begin a part series about my testimony, beginning from when I was a child all the way up until where I am now, the deliverance and the things that I've been through and the struggles and, you know, every part of me. So God is allowing me to be vulnerable. He knows that that's something that I struggle with. So this is also something that I am opening up myself to allow my story to be heard, to witness, and, you know, be a testament to someone else. So I'm going to play my intro, and I'm going to be obedient, and I'm going to talk today, okay? So y'all be patient with me. I hope you guys enjoy this video. We're going to be right back. All right, you guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. So I gotta fix my shirt a little bit, but like I said at the beginning, I'm going to be talking about my testimony in a part series about different things that I went through. I did outline things that I wanted to talk about, so I said, what is my testimony? So my testimony is deliverance from sexual sin, which is something that God continues to deliver me from all the time with the temptation. You know, your girl still slipped a couple times. I was, you know, abstaining or celibate for a little bit of time, and then, you know, stuff happened, and I wasn't, then I was again. So that's a whole nother testimony in itself. And also my suicidal ideations when I was severely suicidal and depressed. Not too many people knew this because I was able to hide it well, but when I was in a room by myself, I completely hated myself. I did not want to be on this earth anymore. I didn't care about the impact that it would cause on my family. I just didn't want to be here. I honestly did not. So that's another part of my testimony, along with, I said, like, depression and anxiety. My fear of loneliness. I felt so alone at a period of time, which brought on the suicidal ideations and depression. And that by far right now was one of the worst moments in my life. Like, still to this day, it makes my heart hurt. Thinking about that girl and the pain that she felt and the love that she searched for in these things, material, people, places, drinks, alcohol, like the things that she searched for, these loves, like it makes my heart ache, but it's a part of who I am. So that's why I'm excited to share that part of me right now, because there is like what people say, a rainbow on the other side, or there's light at the end of the tunnel. This is very true, and I'm a testament to that. So that's why I want to use my life as an example and my testimony as an example. So loneliness is one thing that's a part of my testimony. Feeling the need to fit in and to be liked is a huge part of my testimony right now. Whew, that is something that God has delivered me from and allowed me to, you know, attract the people that are meant for me to be in my life, and he's honestly gotten rid of those who were not good for me, and I was still sticking around and holding on to something that was filling a void, but that was very toxic. So he delivered me from that. And also searching for the love of my father in men, that's something he delivered me from. I have a whole video in my toxic relationships series going into depth of what happened during that time when I was searching for love in men in these places and using my body and things like that to search for a love that I could only get from God, that I receive right now. That's a part of my testimony. And, you know, another thing was being walked over and taken advantage of. I know that there was a point in my life where a lot of people use my kindness for weakness, or use my shyness for weakness, or thought that, you know, I wouldn't speak up for myself. And sometimes I really didn't, because I wanted to avoid, you know, confrontation at all costs. And, you know, it caused me to be walked over in certain situations. It caused me to be taken advantage of or looked at as less than, things like that. So all of these things play a role in my testimony. So I'm going to break all of that down. I just want to let you guys know what I plan on talking about. But for me today, my first video, I want to focus on the first part of my testimony, and I'm actually going to title these testimonies Niecy's Diary, because this is literally my life. This is things that I've been through. This is things that I wrote down in my phone that I keep, that I've kept all these years. So it's literally my diary. It's me opening up to you and allowing you to see my vulnerability and hoping that it affects you and in any type of way to allow you to reflect and sit back and to think about your life and what's going on and why repetitive situations and relationships and things keep happening over and over. Why are these certain cycles that you feel like you can't seem to break? Why do they keep manifesting in different people, places, things? No matter if you go and say if you go to a different school or if you move to a different state, why do these things still continue to manifest even though you're somewhere new? So all of this stuff plays a role in that. So that's why I want to start Niecy's Diary, so I can allow myself to be vulnerable and just to show you my testament and what I went through, and allowing those things to make me and mold me, and along with God, to being the woman that I am today. So we're gonna get right into this. So my first thing is me allowing, take a second and allow myself to be completely vulnerable and just asking God to use me as a vessel and to use me to, as his will, to, you know, get the message out, however it may be. I know I may staggle a little bit or stutter or however it may be, but I want to allow myself to still talk, no matter if it's jibber jabber, what sounds to me. But, you know, with me talking, I realized that if I don't say it, it stays in my heart and it harbors. Like, it literally feels like there's a rock sitting on my chest, and like my heart races, my throat feels like it's like, I don't know, like it's tightening, but it's word vomit. And when I hold it in for so long, it just literally comes out all at once. And I know God wants to use me sporadically and in times where it's needed the most, and not to hold back that message. So I'm going to allow myself to do that. I just want to usher in his presence to allow him to speak through me and allow me to be a vessel to be used by him. So I want you guys to be patient. I don't want word vomit. If you guys don't know what word vomit is, I'm pretty sure if you haven't seen Mean Girls, it's on there where they talk about word vomit, and the girl just comes out and like she just says everything, like she told everybody business because she couldn't hold it in. So I don't want to be that. I want to be used, and I want to allow my vulnerability to be used. So we're going to go all the way back to when I was 12. So this is part 1 of Niecy's Diary. I'm going to talk about when I was 12 years old and I got very, very sick. I was in the hospital. I literally almost lost my life, and God had other plans for me, which is another part of my testimony, and then other things has been prophesied over me. But God had other plans for me. I was very, very sick. This was about like 6th grade, 2006 maybe, because that's the thing. I'm happy that I can remember what year and what grade, because most of the time I was in 6th grade of 2006. So I'm just like, oh, okay, this is cool. But anyways, so it was 2006 roughly, could be going into 2017, and I was in 6th grade. And this was right after my great grandmother had passed. And I got very, very sick. So it started off with like a little bit of abdominal pain, which turned into me vomiting like profusively and like nonstop, and that anything that I kept or anything I tried to eat would just instantly come back up. Like, and it just got to the point where I was so sick. I was so lethargic. I stayed on the couch for weeks. Maybe it was like a week and a half. I couldn't move. I barely made it to the bathroom. I was just getting weaker and weaker, and I just kept feeling myself just like draining. And like the only thing that I was able to keep down in that moment was Gatorade, which was, now that I know, being a nurse, that was replenishing the electrolytes that I was vomiting out. So that's why that was the only thing that was staying in. But it just got to the point where I was missing school. I missed my godaunt's wedding reception that I was in. I couldn't be in because I was very sick. And my grandma was just like, there's something not right. Like, you're not feeling better. Like, at first I thought it was a stomach flu, but you're just not, something's not right. Something doesn't seem like, you should be getting better by now. You still have a fever. You're still vomiting. Like, I need to take you to the hospital. So at this point, I couldn't walk. Like, somebody had to carry me out to the car. And then we got to the emergency room. Someone had to get a wheelchair and wheel me in. I couldn't walk at all. So when I get there, they immediately take me back. I try to give urine samples. I can't, so I have to get catheterized so they can get a urine sample to figure out if that's, if that's related. Instantly, I get an X-ray. With that X-ray, the doctors like immediately rush in, and he's like, "We have to take her into surgery right now." And my family, they don't know what to do. My grandma gets on the phone and called my pastor, and this is all the way up to where I remember. So I'll tell you what I remember, and I'll let you know where people started filling me in. So I remember my grandma gets on the phone with my pastor at the time and calls and says, "Janice is going into the emergency room and going into emergency surgery. Can you get here so we can pray?" So he tried to get here as fast as he can. He got there right in the nick of time, like right when they were rolling me back. He prayed right in between me going into the operating room and me leaving the hallway. So right there, we stopped and we prayed. And that's literally all I remember. And no, I remember them giving me the anesthesia and telling me to count backwards. I remember that too. So then I go through a first surgery. So go through a first surgery, which is a huge abdominal surgery where they open me from right under, a little bit under my breast and all the way to the top of my pelvic, wide open, and they had to clean out. So what they diagnosed me with was a ruptured appendix. And that was so toxic. Even though your appendix is so small, it is a very toxic if it gets to a point where it's very inflamed and it explodes. That's where it got to for me. And that toxicity and that poison spreads out through your entire body. So I was so sick for so long that when I finally went to the hospital, it had spread all inside my intestines, like where all my other vital organs were. Like it was just everywhere. And I remember my doctors had said, like, why you didn't come in any sooner? Like what was going on? And we honestly thought that it was just like a stomach flu, but I just wasn't getting better. So it was just time for me to go out. He's like, "No," he's like, "Thank God that you came in." He's like, "You have to go into surgery right now. If you don't go right now, you are going to die. If you would have waited one more day to have the surgery, you would have died." I know, story was just getting good, but I want you guys to come back for part 2. The video is coming very, very soon. Love you guys.